Hello there, Herd, and welcome back to DramaLlama. This is Yemi, and today we are diving into some of the most unexpected endings in the BL world. Spoiler warning in effect, we will give you time to skip ahead to the next chapter if you have not seen the show, but this topic is, by definition, filled with secrets and plot twists. Watch at your own risk. You've been warned. History 3, both of them. History 3, Make Our Days Count. If you have not seen this show yet and intend to watch it, skip ahead now or forever hold your peace. Make Our Days Count is the Voldemort of BL, packing such a punch that many won't say its name even now, 5 years later. The unexpected ending? Yu Shigu dies. The death of a main character is extremely rare in TV shows. Even in movies, we generally only expect to see the star die in certain very specific cases. Either when we see their death at the beginning of the story and the entire thing is told in flashback, or when the show is about a lead living with a fatal disease, or when the character can be revived by science or magic or time travel. We do not expect our metaphorical frolic in a field of daisies to end with the main character lying 6 feet underneath them. While Asia, with the Korean White Truck of Doom, and the Japanese Is It Even a Movie If No One Died?, is much more open to the idea of important characters suddenly being ill, severely injured, or even dying, for many non-Asian audiences, it feels like a type of betrayal. We came here with certain expectations, and those expectations were met for a while, and then our hearts were put through the ringer. How dare they? Yu Shigu's story brings a special sort of hurt. He is the epitome of the good boy trope. He works hard to support himself and studies incessantly to maintain his top spot in the academic rankings. He does not pity himself and does not take the easy road. There is nothing to dislike in this character. We're also drawn to him because he is so pitiable. His parents died when he was little, his aunt becomes his caregiver, and while he does grow up loved, he ends up sacrificing that little bit of happiness and leaving his aunt's house so as not to be a burden on her. Yu Shigu may well be the reigning champion of Taiwanese cinema roles, and we feel the need to love and protect him. That's why, after all the hardship he endures, we want to see him enjoy the sweet life he has finally found. Yeah, no. It's like that saying, I guess. Flames burn brightest right before they die out. Emphasis on die. History 3, Trapped. Go ahead and skip to avoid spoilage. The flip side of History 3 is the beloved Trapped, the favorite of the entire series for many watchers. Like its fellow History 3 entry, this show was tying up nicely until one thing went awry. In 2019, his story said, "We don't care about none y'all feelings." The unexpected ending? Tangi goes to jail. First of all, nobody in BL goes to jail. Nobody. We have seen BL villains commit all manner of corruption, bribery, assault. We even got a man who orchestrated several men taking advantage of a minor, with not a jail in sight. All's fair in love and BL. So if the villains, who we are meant to hate, get to live their lives under the sun, then why would you make us fall in love with a gangster only to stick him behind bars? The ending is also unexpected because Tangi is slicker than Teflon. Xiao Fei has been after him for years, and he cannot make anything stick. Every time he tries, it backfires somehow. Can you imagine the embarrassment of being a cop and getting handcuffed to the elevator with your own cuffs? Xiao Fei, however, knows no shame when it comes to his attempts to corner Tang Yi. It should come as no surprise that he can't prove that Tangi has anything to do with the murder years ago, since it was not actually Tangi's doing. But it's the fact that he cannot catch him on any of the laundry list of petty crimes he's involved with. Little by little, the fact that we know Tangi is Xiaofei's love interest, plus the fact that charges roll off him like ex-girlfriends off of BL Lead's back, lull us into believing he is invincible. Actually, maybe he is though. He only ends up getting caught after he decides to take the high road because of Meng Xiaofei. Even so, it's been long enough. There must be some sort of parole for good behavior by now. Free Tangi. Only friends. Skippy peanut butter time. GMM TV is to BL what the US is to pop music. They have the genre down to an art. That is not to say that it's all generic and they can't make a masterpiece, but like pop music, that masterpiece generally won't stray too far outside the list of criteria and patterns. Only Friends was possibly the first time that GMM TV ventured so far away from its BL box. The unexpected ending? Shipped couples Force Book and First Cow get together. One-off couple Neo and Mark don't. Before the series started airing, the likely ending would have been for all three couples to get together. The second most likely ending would have been the ending we actually got. However, as we got deeper and deeper into the mess, Only Friends surprised audiences by being a realistic representation of a certain type of college experience that had never been seen on our Black Inhaler sponsored screens. A friend group composed of one innocent, one traumatized alcoholic, one village ram, if you know, you know, and their babysitter navigates relationships, life, and love. It was as glorious a train wreck as we had been promised. Little by little, we started to forget about the BL formula. We wondered where the show would lead us. All three couples went through so many ups and downs that it was just as feasible that they would end up together as apart. It even seemed possible that they might not just not end up with their expected pairing, but the established pairs might end up swapped, or someone would fall into the sexy trap known as Boeing. When all was said and done, GMM TV chose to go with sinking only the unestablished ship, almost coming back to the formula at the very end. We were so close to new and unexplored territory. I guess you can lead a pack of Lays to a bottle of Oishi green tea, but you can't make it drink. The Day I Loved You. Skip, skip, skip to my Lou. The unexpected ending? The sick main character leaves the Philippines to get treatment in the US and convinces his boyfriend to get over him and have a better life. We, the audience, generally like to know what we're in for. Some people go as far as to ask whether the show will have a happy ending and if the couple will end up together. But at a minimum, we want to know the genre of our series. What feelings will we feel? What thoughts will we think? We want to know the rules of the world we're entering. We don't want to have 17 episodes of rom-comedy musical only to have 47 tentacled aliens crawl out of the sewers in episode 18. As opposed to the earlier entries in today's list, the unexpected ending in The Day I Loved You really begins halfway through the show. Like I said, people like to know what kind of show they're getting into. If it's sad, we need to pre-season our souls before they are dropped into the furnace of BL hell. If it's going to be a slapstick comedy, we need to check our brains at the door. Enjoying BL is as much about managing expectations as anything else. However, every now and again, a series starts in one vein, and does a complete about face to give us something different. The lucky ones will have a change that lines up with exactly the show they were hoping to see. For most of us, however, the switch from the sweet enemies to lovers high school storyline, complete with a bop of an opening song and a cute dance number, to the tearjerker in which the dancer main lead has owls and will eventually lose the use of his legs to the disease, was earth-shattering. Guess that poor baby won't be dancing like no one's watching. I Promised You the Moon. Skippy time. I Promised You the Moon was the sequel to I Told Sunset About You, widely acclaimed as a classic of Thai BL. Both series star Bilkin and Pee in the roles that cemented them as a legendary ship couple, even now, after years without doing a BL. The unexpected ending? Ted cheats, but manages to work things out with OL. This right here is why us llamas don't like second seasons. Western series are often designed around a set of characters and a premise. Star Trek is about exploration and diplomacy. The difference between the series of Star Trek is based in the characters. Asian drama is not like that. Our shows are based around a plot, and that plot wraps up nicely by the finale episode. This means that the only way to have a season 2 in most cases is to break our couple apart. The entirety of I Promised You the Moon has such a different vibe from I Told Sunset About You. Part of that is the curse of the Asian second season, but part of that also serves as a commentary on life. His grand gestures, especially giving up his place at university to save OL, come back to haunt him. The realities of what is essentially married life sink in. And of course, the grass is always greener on the other side, especially when you try to save money on your water bill. Things stay so bad for so long, we are forced to face the possibility that Tae may not be able to repair the rift between him and OL. He is eventually able to fix things right at the buzzer, but we can't help but wonder if he really was the right choice for OL. To each his own, I guess. Word of Honor. Oh, skippy now. Word of Honor is one of the legendary Chinese bromances. The soulmate relationship is much more apparent between Zhou Jishu and Wen Kexing than many other bromances, and people have wondered how it even passed the censorship board. The unexpected endings: Wen Kexing dies. Also, Wen Kexing doesn't die. The censorship board is the bane of the multicultural BL fans' existence. There are perks to the censorship board. Without the ability to explicitly show a romance, storytellers go deep on the plots and character development. What we get is a very understated love. Not quite so in Word of Honor. So many things slip through that one wonders just how much rice wine the board had before they approved the show. One thing that does not slip is the happy ending. In the official approved ending, Wen Kexing dies. He chooses to destroy his body to give Zhou Jishu immortality. This ending is really the icing on a horrible cake. It's not too long after the massacre at Ghost Valley, where our reformed Gushang and our sweetest lollipop Wei Ning are lost after they are betrayed by his master. It would be the saddest thing to watch this show on Chinese TV, because with this ending, not only would it be devastating as an audience member, but also how would Zhou Jishu pull through, having lost both hubby and his adopted stepdaughter? In the original ending that was cut, Wen Kexing is revived after Zhou Jishu fixes his meridians and inserts his genuine qi into his body. I can see why this part got cut. Because inserting his genuine chi, aka true life spirit, yeah, that's not sus at all. The original ending is still surprising though, albeit less shocking than the revised one. While the audience does expect Zojishu to be saved, as he's our protagonist, we don't expect him and Wen Kexing to reject the whole world to live as gods with each other. Although, in retrospect, this was probably the best possible ending. Both of our leagues are kind of regarded as criminals, and there's no way they would be allowed to live in peace in the secular world. Plus, how many times have they died by now, anyhow? Last Twilight. Aye aye, skipper. Last Twilight was another departure from the GMM TV formula. We saw a character struggling with his sudden disability. We saw the struggles and emotions around that. We even got a peek at what it means to live a beautiful life without your sight. The unexpected ending, Day regains his sight. Yet again, we have the ending that would have made the most sense before the show being a shocker by the end of the series. After the finale, the production revealed they wanted to make a story of hope. The problem for many was that they spent so much time telling a story of acceptance. It takes so long for Day to have a successful surgery that, with Mok's help to get him started, he's fully settled in to living with his disability. He has no problems getting through his daily life and is thriving in his chosen career. Day has made peace with his blindness, and so have we. This ending also rubs people the wrong way because of the feeling of sight we get after having one failed surgery. We have tried the so-called solution and it didn't work. Why would we go back to it? Stories and real life are different. In real life, things happen over and over again. Sometimes we try the same thing twice, 3 times, 4 times, but in stories, we cut out redundancy, and in most cases, it feels wrong to come back to somewhere we have already been. People with disabilities or those who watch appreciating the representation also may not have been thrilled by the idea that hope means Day getting his sight back. Does this mean that people who live with an irreversible disability have no hope? Living their lives to their fullest every day without handouts, working jobs they are skilled at, spending time with loved ones, but thanks to their disability, they can only know despair? Nah, this one did not stick the landing. End of the world with you. Hop, skip, jump time. The End of the World with You is an apocalypse BL where Ritsu and Masumi meet each other again for the first time in years, in the library, just days before a meteor will destroy the planet. The unexpected ending? Yuma blows out the meteor? We keep coming back to the audience wanting to know what a show will be about when they watch it, and as they're watching it. To quote an earlier example, we don't want aliens to pop out in episode 20 of our rom-com musical. Well, you don't, but Japan often makes series that break all the rules, and the equivalent of rom-com aliens happens more often than you would expect. Despite the whole series being a socio-psychological look at who humans become in their worst times, we have Yuma popping up as a supernatural element. Now, that's not to say there's no foreshadowing to Yuma being the solution. Most people start to suspect something when his anger sets off a thunderstorm. On a second watch, we discover Yuma has actually showed his supernatural abilities from his very first appearance, when the end-it-all pill does not work on him. It's just that we dismiss this as a one-off issue, because the show leans more to sci-fi, not fantasy. It's probably just a 40 pill, as Yuma suggests. Even though we get an inkling that Yuma will be our superhero, we start to ignore it because we never get into why Yuma is like this. And he himself does not even seem aware of his power until he actually faces off with the meteor. In the end, I think that most people are fine with this ending because we have hinted that Yuma is not as he seems. But it's still weird AF. Over the years, some BL has purposely pushed the limits of our imagination and our interaction with these stories. As we slowly move into more and more diverse series, with more producers and writers choosing to push the envelope, we will see more of these unexpected endings. So, how about you, Herd? Do you agree with our list? And how do you feel about unexpected endings? What other BL endings shocked you? Thank you for taking this trip through unexpected endings with us. If you haven't already, don't forget to join the party at DramaLlama, the ultimate platform for BL fans. Whether you're looking to discuss your favorite series, discover new ones, or connect with other fans, DramaLlama is the place to be. Until next time, keep your hearts open and your minds curious. We'll see you soon.